Hey guys, Loman02, currently getting ready to play in the 100 card Singleton event, the Chainsaw Massacre. This is the deck we'll be bringing today. It's a Blue Moon, 100 card Singleton variant of it. Do I think it's going to be good in the meta? Probably not. I just kind of want to play the deck. I don't really like Blood Moon, Back to Basics, and Magus of the Moon extremely well right now. I think we're going to see a lot of White Weenie decks. I'm pretty sure the first round opponent we have is going to be White Weenie. However, with Mystical Tutor in the format, we do have Anarchy in the sideboard, which I don't really care for Anarchy under normal conditions, but if I have Mystical Tutor in my deck, seems pretty good to me. Also have Bribery against like the big stuff decks, Hibernation against the green X decks, Clasm Whip Flare against the Weenie decks, Skite possibly against Weenie, probably more so against like red deck wins, and then, just some good main deck stuff against them. So I think it's probably about a 50-50 matchup, but I do have 3 dead cards going in. Have fun, brother. And like 95% positive we're playing against White Weenie here, but we shall see. Unfortunately, it's a smaller tournament today, only 6 players, so we'll still play 3-round Swiss. So we'll all get to play each other. Yep. Oh, he went to bed. I like this hand against Weenie. I have a Force Spike for their turn 2 play and a Vidalcan Shackles to steal something, plus a board sweeper in the form of Fiery Confluence, and a way to refill my hand. This hand's actually just about perfect against White Weenie, I think. Especially with my dead cards still in deck. Now, hopefully we don't draw, like, Back to Basics or something. Okay, Expedition Envoy. Yeah, I mean, that's what they need to be doing. Well, now we have Spell Snare, which I'll probably use on a 2-drop over the Force Spike, because Force Spike could possibly get a 3 as well. And allow us to set up this Fiery Confluence, and if we're lucky, maybe they'll even cast an Equipment, which I may allow to resolve here. If they cast 2 1-drops, it's probably the worst of worlds for us. Then I likely will Force Spike. Yeah, that card is getting Spell Snared right away. I guess I could leave it because I have the Fiery Confluence. I don't want to let them get a huge clock on me. They're already down to 4 cards being on the play. I can take some damage here. That's not a big deal. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping to hit a land card here. Alright, perfect. Honestly, I think, again, we just play on an island and say go. Just kind of bide time here. Now, there are some 3s we probably don't Force Spike here. Alright. Unfortunately, I do not run Stifle. That would have been nice. I don't think his deck runs... that is a card engine, so I actually am going to snipe that. I'm going to snap that off. My hope is that they don't have like a turn 4 like Armageddon or Elsbeth. That would be pretty god-awful, to be honest with ourselves. But a card engine I'm not going to allow to resolve, because that means he's going to probably get 2 to 3 cards next turn. Then he can eventually get with that thing. I guess I could blow up the artifacts with Fiery Confluence. I think what I like here is just playing out the Vidalcan Shackles, and really very much so hoping that they do not have like an Elsbeth or something like that. If they do, we're in a little bit more trouble, because the Fiery Confluence, due to the rules change, cannot deal with an Elsbeth. It used to be able to. You used to be able to pop the whole thing on a Planeswalker. They could also have like a Leonin Relic Order. If they have something that like takes it, I hope it exiles it underneath a creature card, because then I could just blow it up with the Fiery Confluence here. Yeah, I probably should have let the Spirit of Labyrinth resolve, just to like retain some value. It's possible. I just, they go 1, 2, 3, which is what their deck wants to do. And we've been able to kind of do what ours wants to do, is disrupt them along that curve. Question becomes, like, what is their next drop? If it's a Planeswalker or, like, an Ajani, then I'm in a lot more trouble, I think. I really don't want to see that. And it's also going to, very much so, okay, well, they have 4 mana. They don't have an Elsbeth, because I think they would have slammed that, but maybe not. Hopefully just like 2 to 3 creatures. I mean, they could just drop a Geddon here. That seems very risky to me. If they do, am I in a bad spot? Not horrible. It just depends. I mean, if they're holding Geddon 2 more lands, then they're probably advantaged at that point. But I do have this dig through time. Alright, they're doing nothing. Okay, well, I very much so like nothing. And I think here I just play out my land and say go. I'd like to leave up Miscalc, plus leave up the Shackles here. Okay, Dust Bowl. Well, a lot of lands. Honor of the Peer. Okay, I'll take your thing. I'll play this game. The unfortunate truth is I'm going to have to get a mountain with this so I don't, get blown out by the Dust Bowl and the Tech Edge here. Do they have another threat? Although, at the same time, it does kind of fuel my delve, right? Yeah, I mean, I have the 2-1. I don't think it's going to do much here. Honor of the Peer is actually pretty good against Shackles, especially when they have 2 ways of destroying lands now. Now my hope is to kind of draw into... I care about this that much. Not really. Okay. I don't think I pop here. I think I do catch release on this thing. Happy to draw that. I think we say go here. Again, leaving up the miscalc. If he wants to pop this creature so he can get it for 3 damage, I'm okay with that. But I'm going to take it regardless because it either blocks or I can pop it at end step, untap the Shackles, and take something else after that. And I still get to leave up my miscalc either to cycle or to, counter a 4-drop here. Open the Armory. Okay. Well, I can destroy whatever they get with the Fiery Confluence here. Maybe they have a Sword of Protection. They have the Sword of Light and Shadow. That'd be good against their own creature cards, I presume. But the issue with this line is they either cast it this turn, get it countered by miscalculation. Don't cast it this turn. I pop Selfless Spirit, end step, take their Expedition Envoy, and then they're forced into a place where if it's a 5-drop sword, 3-drop sword plus 2 to equip, they can't cast a creature and cast the sword and equip it and attack at the same turn. So I think I like that. Yep, Sword of Light and Shadow. Kind of figured that's what they were going for if they had it in their deck, which makes sense to have this card. Do I actually... I don't know if I take this, guys. I don't know if I counter this. I think I do just to fuel Delve. I don't really like it, though, because I do have the Fiery Confluence to deal with this. I could actually see them attacking there, possibly. Yep, all my creatures are indestructible. Well, what do I want on top of my deck? Brainstorm is a good one. That almost makes me not want to dig through time just to draw that thing. My land will most certainly get blown up here, I think. I don't think I have to Shackles right now. Take the 2/1/3/2 as it stands right now. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they blow... Well, okay. Well, the interesting thing I can do right now is just... What do they have here? That's fine. Do I dig through time here? I think I'm going to. It's just the mana efficiency alone. I know I want that Brainstorm, kind of. But I don't have another fetch land, so I don't think it's that great, per se. Nothing in the graveyard is that worth keeping. Alright, Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker, Counterspell, Back to Basics is terrible. Probably Counterspell plus Electrolyze or Kiki Jiki. I'm going to take these two, I think. Yeah, any order's fine. And just wait it out. I think we have higher power draws than our opponent does, and their land or mana denial plan they've got going on right now is not likely to get there. I feel pretty safe with one counterspell, so any big time bomb they end up drawing, we can just get rid of. Banishing a light. Well, I'm going to say no to that. And actually, I'm not going to release this time. I'm going to start using this thing, I think. Gain a little bit of incremental life, kind of buy some time. And actually, we could burn them out. It's not unreasonable. I kind of want to save this burn now, because if you do get like an Elspeth down, the Electrolyze plus the Lightning Bolt can take down an Elspeth from 5. If they want to trade 1 for 2, I'm cool with that. I think I'll win that race. Still think I'm going to do nothing here. Well, that just completely changes how this game plays out. I'm going to attack them here, see if they exile this thing with like a Swords to Plowshares or a Path to Exile or something like that. There is an Inferno Titan, and if you don't have removal for this within 1 turn, yeah, you're losing the game. Alright. If they have a Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares, okay. You know, I can still try to burn them out. Matter of fact, it may have been more correct just to dome them for the damage there. Now I'm not really worried about any Planeswalker. It's going to be removal plus a very good threat. Like, I can't really think of how they get out of it now. Okay, arrest. So can't attack or block. Cool. So they did have the answer. Well, there's another card that we like to bank on in this matchup. Should have played this thing out. Still leave up the Bolt and Electrolyze, but at this point, I think we may go to end step these burn spells on them. So we get them out of 12. Electrolyze plus Bolt is 5 damage, plus 6 damage, 11 damage. So the next attack is actually lethal if they don't remove this Knight of the Metal Grain. It puts him down to 1. -1 with the attack from the Knight of the Metal Grain, or activation from Grim Lavamancer. So, yeah, it's the same deal. They can remove this thing, and I kind of want to get this hit in. Yeah, okay. They can use their response cards. I could Electrolyze this thing, but I think I'd rather have the 2/2. The Grim is fine. It's just like, okay. They still have to present a threat. I'm not going to waste, like, Electrolyze burning off, like, something here. Burning off my own creature that I stole with the Shackles here. That seems bad to me. Do I still do this? I think I just try to do it to draw deeper. Oh, oops. Well, sometimes you misclick, right? Thing in the ice? Eh. Actually, I kind of like that. I'm going to save the burn, the big burn. Or am I? Yeah, no, I'm going to save it. And still next turn they're dead. Okay, it's fine. Do you have a threat, good sir? Well, now I feel like the game is undeniably mine because I have the negate to stop any kill spell for this knight. Put them to 6. And win the game. Okay, let's go to sideboarding now. So, Anarchy most certainly comes in. Pyroclasm and Whip Flare I like. And then I think we just cut the Magus, the back to basics. and the Blood Moon out of the deck. And other than those cards, I think most of our cards pair up decently well against theirs, so I think it's just a go. I think this deck is halfway decent against White Weenie. I mean, we took some beats in the early game there, but I mean, it was a Shackles game, right? They didn't have an answer to Shackles, and Shackles just took the game over. And their mana denial strategy doesn't work as good against a deck that's based around being a mana denial strategy itself. So I liked how that one ended up. Do I want Dispel to stop like disenchant effects and stuff like that? I don't like have a ton of enchantments and artifacts. But I guess I am predicated upon using Splinter Twin to win, but I think I'm fine without Dispel. It does stop disenchant. It does stop. I can never remember the name of the damn card. The 1-mana sorcery that destroys four and under artifacts or enchantments. Or Aura of Silence. Obviously, Dispel doesn't stop that, but it's another card they could bring in, but I don't think that does much against it. I mean, it does good things against Shackles and against like the Batterskull, and that's about it. I guess Twin too. So we're going to be a lot more about using sweeper effects here. So we have 2 sweepers that we brought in, and 3. Anarchy's a sweeper essentially against their deck. It sweeps everything their deck can play, with the exception of their like swords. And like their Mishra's Factories and Mutavaults, and maybe they have a Phyrexian Revoker, I don't know. Glen Alondra is maybe a card that needs to come out of this deck. It maybe just be a little bit too slow for today's meta. I just think the card is so good in the control mirror. Like, Glen Alondra has got to be like one of the top cards, like for control v control matchups. If you resolve it, like I feel like generally speaking, it's going to be very difficult to lose. I mean, essentially just 2 free counter spells, right? It basically says Aura of Silence, except it costs 4 mana. Well, 5 if you want to say you leave an activation up on it. Also not a bad blocker. Gets like aggressive cards, you just block with it, block again with it. You block a 2/2 the first time, or a 3/2, and then block a 2/1 or something. That's still not a bad use of it. Still 2 for 1 value, albeit very slow. Alright, well, let's hope we can draw as well as we did last game. What do I think of this hand? Well, this hand has Anarchy available to it, so I think this hand's a keep. Mystical Tutor is going to make this... Like, once we've sideboarded, Mystical Tutor makes our... like, any hand like this that doesn't have, like, a lot of good stuff going on. Has a little bit. Okay. The Woe Reaper. That card's also a great... Just play on a basic here. And we'll leave up Spell Pierce. Okie doke. Honor of the Pier. Well, that's going to get spell snared. Cool. Glad I could waste your whole turn. Feels so good when you spell pierce something on turn 1. Like... Okay, and we have a Daze. I don't really want a Daze here. I think I'm just going to lead on this and say go. But I want to do this before they have Aven Mind Sensor available to them. Suppose I don't have... Actually, you know what? No, I don't. I'd actually like them to do that, because I can Daze the Aven Mind Sensor and then Arc Trail it on the next turn. Yeah, okay. Arc Trail. And now we're only up on Daze. If I draw a land, though, I feel pretty good. I mean, hell, we may not even need to get Anarchy here. Like, that was kind of the going-in strategy, but tap 1 more land. I'll just Daze you. So I'm not assured my land drop here. Yeah, okay. That's fine. I think, in all honesty, I'm just going to wait to cast the Whip Flare out. I think I'll take the 2 and go down to 13. I think that's better, because like if they play another thing out, I'd like to get a 2 for 1 off this. I'm fine taking 2 down to 13 as well. And if they play like an Elsbeth here, I really don't want to go back a land drop. Okay. That is a problem, though. I'm going to save the days. That would be a big problem. I'm going to wait. I'm probably going to bounce this thing mid-combat and then leave up days. Alright, maybe I can't leave up days anymore. I think I can go... I think I'm just going to bounce this thing and get deeper in my deck. And hopefully not get Geddoned out. Alright, Memory Lapse. Not a horrible draw. Take 1 down to 10. And don't have a walker. Alright, this is fine. Alright, eat a Whip Flare. I may be trying to irk too much value out of this, I don't know. But I actually may even be using this Mystical Tutor just to go find like a dig through time or something to find a way to win. Put it back on top. I can dissolve him next turn if I'd like. Would have rather had an island, but that's not bad either. I'm actually keeping the island. And the question is, like, what do I even get with this? Anarchy doesn't seem good enough. I'll wait, see what they do. Yeah, that's fine. I think we're just digging here, right? And, well, that's a good find. So is Batterskull. What do I think of this? Batterskull plus Firebolt, I think is the right pickup here. We'll just bolt this. I didn't have a land that I could play the Batterskull this turn. And now we assume some risk against like an Elsbeth or Gideon top deck. That's about it. Like everything else I'm pretty comfortable with. I don't want to have one of those two things happen. Other than that, I feel pretty comfortable about that keep. Nothing. Well, now I think I sit back. I think it's better to sit back because if they have an answer to this, I want to have 3 mana up to return it to my hand. And Mana Drain allows me to do that. Okay, more land for them. Well, eventually they have to cast something. I think the ball is in their court. They are the aggressor. Well, now I can just do this anyways, right? I think we pop this fetch land to see if they have an Aven Mind Sensor or something like that. No. Okay, nope. Play out the skull and say go. Yeah, I'll just drain this. I guess I should have just returned it. But I can still daze whatever 4-drop they have if they have one. Well, if they have another answer to it, that's pretty bad for us. Oh, okay, they got it. Yep, they got my skull. Cool. Should just let it happen, huh? Well, I'm not casting the Fiery Confluence here. Okay. Okay. Inferno Titan would be a welcome draw. Splinter Twin, not bad. I don't think I'm going to pop the Fiery Confluence yet. Now, how does this go bad for us? If they have a sword, that goes really bad for us at that point. That's a-okay. Okay. Well, I think they have 2 removal cards in hand. Just cast this out, get rid of these 2. Yeah, that's what we did not want to see. Okay, you got it. Now we're kind of hoping to mise, well, them not have removal and us mise a Pestermite. Actually, Inferno Titan would probably be the best. Yep, that's fine. Thing in the Ice is good. Okay, well, yeah, we kind of figured they had that. So we'll get another island here. Drawn a few too many lands this game. We are a 37 land deck, probably against a 34 land deck, but this is a few more than we probably should expect. Alright, get in there for 2, or you can try to pump and try to kill me. This puts me to 4. Okay. I think I'm fine with that. Can't do much about it. Okay, Mother of Runes. Well, I'm not in a rush to blow that Mother of Runes up. So what's my miracle draw here? Still Inferno Titan. Or, that's close, right? It's actually it, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think we take Deceiver Exarch here. And I think we say go. Because I can't win with it this turn, I have to win with it next turn. And they're down to 1 card, which is possibly removal. Okay. Well, not quite dead. Attempt to tap the flyer. Okay. You can try to give it protection from blue and then I'll just burn it off. He's already made the 1-1. I would have gone to beginning combat step if he had not made the 1-1 to do this. Yep. Okay. Best draw on my deck is a counterspell. So yeah, we'll block and block. Take 1. Protection from blue? Yeah, okay. That's fine. I mean, it can do 1 damage to me. And if he does something to pump it, then I will just, If he had removal, I think he used it here. Like, unless he's playing a really weird, like, trying to play a really weird, like, trick game. He still has a clue to try to draw off top. Yep. I'm glad to see him use that mana, because that means my day's a little more alive. Journey to Nowhere. That is a huge friggin' problem. That was a good draw on his part. So, how do we win this? I suppose we don't. Alright, lose this thing. See if we can get him to do something to protect this thing in response. Alright, you got it. Into the Royal. Into the Royal, I think, would do it. That would have done it too. Yeah, on draw step. Alright, concede. We'll go to game 3. That sucks. We kind of screwed up the Batter Skull play, though, so we earned it. Just rejam. I think our deck is set up to beat theirs. A few too many lands there, and we also made a misplay with the Skull. The Skull, if we had been able to get that thing down and keep going with it, there's no way they're overpowering that. And they drew into what they needed to, which was the Elspeth we've been talking about most of the game. Elspeth or Gideon. Oh, Anarchy would have been good, too. Anarchy's probably always good. And I guess we could have gone for it that game, but I felt like it was right just to try to go for the win at that point. Or start digging for a win. Yeah, that one clue. I think they did draw into that answer card, too. Because if they had not, I felt like we probably had the game locked up. Their last card, I think, was a land in hand because they could have removed my threats and won that turn. Which begs the question, like, why not draw it before you go into the attack step? But I don't know. Hand's a keep. Pretty easy keep, actually. So we have Anarchy, Splinter Twin, Jace to filter, Pyroclasm for early beats, Condescend to dig a little bit. Opponent's mulliganing. And they'll probably have a 1-drop, my guess would be. Alright. Yep, 1-drop. Mother of Runes would be like the worst, because then I have to class him, I think, right away. Okay, this thing's not that bad. That's actually very strong. I like that better than Jace here. Question is, I think I lead on this, because I still have Clasm available to me. If they want to disenchant it or something like that, that's cool. Or Leonin Relic Warder it. Perfect. There we go. I still hope to hit land this turn. Well, missed my land drop, but we'll see. Definitely put them back a lot on tempo, though. 1-drop's fine. More 1-drops or just pumping it? I think I put that in my graveyard because I really am looking for lands here. Well, we missed. I think I'm willing to take the risk of playing out the Jace here, just to find lands. Because I feel like this hand can't lose if it hits its mana. Not blocking. Well, they have an answer for the Jace. Path to Exile would be a bad answer for it, because I'm obviously stuck on lands. If they do Path it, I think I honestly get a mountain here. Because I think, yep, perfect. Sometimes you can read minds in this game. I don't know what it is, man. Yep, mountain. It's harder to find a mountain than it is an island in this deck. And I really do want it to be able to... yeah, unfortunately, that needs to go to the graveyard, too. Alright, well, we're kind of missing here. Just can't find lands this game. So... suppose we'll take a little bit of damage here. And if they just pump this thing, if they find the mana and pump it, then I guess we're going to just cycle Miscalc. If they try to cast something, we'll probably use our Miscalc just to maintain some semblance of tempo. If we can Condescend it, then we'll Condescend it. Yeah, this is going to get Condescended. Bottom, bottom. Yeah, I don't want that either. Man, we are just not finding lands this game. We've dug and dug and dug and just not found them. There must be a pocket of them somewhere in the deck. Well, sometimes this happens. I guess it's magic. He's getting equally unlucky, but I feel like with the level of manipulation we put our library through, we should be doing a bit better than this. That'll get memory lapsed here. I don't want them to draw lands either. Yep, want to put that in the graveyard too. Oh yeah, I want to transform that because I want the land drop. Here, honestly, I think we just blow this thing up. Say go. We know what he's drawing next turn. We'll just miscalc it and then hopefully draw into land next turn. Weird draw. 3 lands in the top 20 about. Well, more than that even at this point. Well, still no land. Unfortunately, Search for Escanta cannot find you land either. Yeah. We bottomed 2. Yeah, we've gone over 20 actually at this point. Their third land. Thalia, yeah, you're going to get countered here. So I can find land, honestly. Land, come on. I mean, no, put on bottom. I want lands. Real bad. Thank you, deck, for all these great spells, but just a land drop would be nice. Alright, it's a land drop, it's tapped, it sucks, but hey, what are you going to do? At least get to search for his Kanta this turn, which is cool. If it doesn't get blown up in some horrible way. Hopefully they don't hit a land drop and then Elsbeth. Alright, that's fine. Do you have another 2-drop? Oh, that's actually problematic. Well, I'm not going to search for his Kanta here. Oh, cool. Stop a 2-drop. They can gain a life off this, it's fine. And we still have the Anarchy. And at a minimum, Spell Pierce is not bad when you're down to 1 land. There you go. Okay. Oh, a land. Cool. Just leave up Mystic Confluence here. We'll try to counter whatever they try to play here, and then bounce the Core Firewalker, ideally. Question is, do I take 3 here? Okay, play another 1-drop. Thank you. Cool. Anarchy. Cool. Land. That's exactly what we need to have happen, is them to finally hit some land droppage. What do I think of this? I think hell yeah on Pyromancer. The only thing we got to be worried about is that Griff's Boon, which will make anything fly over the Mancer. I'm going to start searching here. I'll probably just negate this. Or not. Yeah, no, I'm just going to remand this. Sadly enough, I have to get some non-basics here, which makes me a little more fragile. Yeah, remanding this makes more sense. I'm just playing for time right now. And this will force them to try to cast down again. Get a burst lightning, cool. Thing, kind of a non-bow with Pyromancer, but not a bad card. And then we'll negate it next turn if that's what they decide to do. Got burst lightning available to do 4 as well. Or just knock on a threat. Yeah. This is the point at which I think we start winning the game. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. A miss. Well, those 2 cards would have been really good with my Splitter Twin, unfortunately, but hey, sometimes you miss. I guess it was bound to happen eventually. Big question here as we ponder. I think we do. Always yield. I think I want the leak to deal with any 4-drop Planeswalker threat. And I think we just burn this thing out of the way. Could burst lightning it as well. And actually, yeah. And I think we got this one locked up. Let's see what they top deck here. Well, that should be game. That's certainly annoying, and since it is their last card, I'm just going to go ahead and counter it, and then attack in for lethal with the Burst Lightning. I guess they're not Dobbs, to their knowledge, but they are Dobbs. And burst, kill. Alrighty, well, despite a sloppily played second game, I think that went decently well. Quick break here, guys, and we'll... Alright, guys, back playing AF Fabricio here, who I believe is also on White Weenie. So, yeah, match diversity is not going to be that high today, it does not seem. How did round 1 go for everyone else? So AEF did get Salknalis 0-2 in the first round. And Red Deck wins, won its second game. God damn it, dude. Alright, guys, quick break. Alright, guys, what do I think of this? I think this hand's a keep. We got a Firebolt for the turn 1 play. We've got Snapcaster to snap it back if we really need to, because this is probably White Weenie. We have an Imperial Recruiter, which can get us a win con on this much red mana. Just depends on how much removal they have. Like, any 1-drop I'm probably going to burn off. Yep, that's getting burned off. Wouldn't mind hitting a blue mana next turn, a blue land of some sort next turn, to cast this Disallow on curve. Nothing. Play around Wasteland here. I probably will trade with the Mutavault if he attacks with it, with the Snapcaster. I don't know if that's what we're going to see here, but we may. Okay, Core Firewalker, that's cool. I'll let him gain some incremental life against me. Don't really care about that. I know I said I wanted to leave up Disallow, but I think I would prefer to incentivize an attack here. Because I will trade the Snappy for the Mutavault, and then... Well, I'm sorry, the Core Firewalker, and then... Okay, they have Geddon. Could just go for it. That's a big problem. Well, don't have Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares. Well, maybe I'll have to twin them out here. Might be able to. Just find a Volcanic here. They run Dismember in their deck is kind of the question. Maybe I should have done this because I should have played around Dismember. Alright, well, we got it locked now. Game. Are you going to make me go through it? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. It is kind of a lengthy combo to go through. Did not feel good about that one, though. That one was tight. We do luckily have the Braid main deck. Now, the Land Hate comes out. This Land Hate's terrible in this matchup. Basically, same boarding plan. Yep. God, Anarchy's so clunky. Guys, please get off the white weenie decks. Play something else. I don't want to play Anarchy in my sideboard, but I responsibly cannot not play Anarchy in my sideboards if I'm playing a red deck. Especially with Mystical Tutor and Personal Tutor in the format. Even though this deck's not running Personal Tutor because I don't think it's the powerhouse it is in Blue-White Miracle. It's too slow. But Mystical Tutor's good enough. But I hate playing cards like Anarchy. It's just although, I did F up that one game against Golden. Although I did also force him to give me 2 cards, but I think it would have been better just to have bounced the Skull out. Unless he had a Disenchant in hand, which I suppose could have been his last card, because his last card he did not do anything with for the rest of the game. He always had that last card. So it was either land or a dead card, which Disenchant could fit the bill of. I'm trying to think if I had any other enchantments he could have gotten that game, or artifacts or enchantments. But he very easily could have had it there. Which probably still would have made the play of not returning the Batter Skull strictly worse of mana draining. Doesn't really have a good thing to put out for all that mana. The only time I could have supported the line of play, the mistake I made was if I had Inferno Titan in hand. I just wanted to get the next piece of removal out of his hand so I could resolve the Inferno Titan and assume that it was going to be safe. That could have been a reasonable line. Inferno Titan I added this deck really for the White Weenie matchups, and because this deck just felt like it needed another Haymaker, a singular Haymaker, not the twin combo is good, in certain situations, but it doesn't always get there. It's kind of a little more convoluted to get to it and have it, be safe from interaction from your opponent. Dispel could be right, even. There are certainly certain situations in the game, say as I played against White Weenie, where I wanted to have a Dispel to stop a Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshare just because of their sheer efficiency. Alright, come on, deck. Give me something good here. We haven't had a mulligan yet, so, that's probably coming up at some point. Probably should knock on wood. Obviously you always want to be lucky, but I also want to play some games, too. What do I think of this? JTMS does not really shine in this matchup, nor does Glenalandra, but I have Izzet Charm to deal with their first threat. I have decent mana. I think this is a keeper. It's weird to say, I don't think Jace is that good in this match. This against control, this hand would be perfect. It'd be very well set up. But against, aggro, not quite as much. 2 4-drops and an interactive 2-drop spell. On the draw, though, I can lead on a tapped land. If they wasteland me, it's not that big of a deal because they're only going to have 2 1s at that point, and I can still Izzet Charm kind of in the same time frame. I think I keep this. Okay, 1-drop I assume. Yep. Alright, the Dauntless Bodyguard. Cool. Well, be the best draw is Pyroclasm or... Well, not that. Alright, lead on this. Go. Taking 2. Hopefully no turn 2 Thalia. Turn 2 Thalia would be a little rough. Could also use the Izzet Charm to dig. It's not a bad option because his hand, I could just get rid of some of these cards. It is card disadvantage, but I think we're going to accrue advantage through just our sweeper effects against red cards, or against white cards, rather. What would be the worst for us? Probably a Shadow Protection red dude, or a Thalia. Thalia would be quite bad in this setup. Okay, double planes. Do you have another threat? I assume you do. Yep, protection from red guy. Alright, so that was the second worst thing. I think Thalia is slightly worse. Can deal with the Soltari, though. Take 2 here. Glenalandra is probably not going to be good this matchup, I don't think. Alright. Well, I take the damage, or do I blow this thing up? I think I take the damage here. Just miscalc this thing. That actually is protection against the Anarchy. Question is, what do I play next turn? Probably just Glenalandra. I don't like it, but I think I remove the Dauntless Bodyguard at this point. Just take 2 down to 12, and then he'll play something else out. He can play Jace Bounce. Kind of want to save Jace for this fetch land so I can really set up, like a good Brainstorm turn. Okay, what's your next 2-drop? Nothing. Oh, okay. Well then, in that case, I'm just going to bounce this thing. Keep them off their curve. Yeah, bouncing this seems great. They have Mana Tithe in their deck? That'd be god-awful. Yeah, if we get Mana Tithe, we're in trouble. Like I said, I don't like Jace in this matchup, but if they keep a greedier hand and don't get there on it, and I'm able to kind of out-tempo them, even though they've gotten in this initial 8 damage, I can possibly get there. Because, I get to bounce this thing back. I get the turn back. It didn't play anything, so I think it's right just to do this. Just bounce it, say, hey, oh, wow. They just accidentally F6 to their turn? Well... Oh no. Oh no. Okie doke. Well, I don't need another mountain. And I don't need one of these islands, I don't think. I think I'm going to try to keep them off lands. They can draw all that nonsense. No, not at all. I think I am going to resolve the Glenalandra here. And just say go. Draw a random card here. Okay, Factor Fiction's pretty strong. Okay, well, they get to shuffle here, but I can burn this silly thing off. And they're going to be hard casting their... at that point, they're going to be hard casting their equipment, whatever they get. Probably a Sword of Fire and Ice, because it's protection from everything in my deck. But I have faith I can get to a counterspell before then. Question becomes, I think I brains... Well, we'll see. Alright, well, this is all moot. Arc Trail's not bad. Well, I think at this point I just plus the Jace, because my hand's pretty decent. I'd like to Factor Fiction next turn. I don't really care if they recast their silly thing. Actually, yeah, I do. I don't want that to happen, honestly. As much as I would like them to stay mana screwed, I think it's more important... that I don't let them answer my Glen, because my Glen's going to answer that equipment, and I guess I could have, sacked Glen to counter it, but maybe it was more correct just to sack the Glen to counter it, but yeah. Good games, man. Alright, well, it looks like our opponents conceded this one. They made a pretty grievous F6 error there. I think even if they had not, we were in a very good spot, although I would not have expected it from how that first game went. So sometimes, you just get lucky and opponents make mistakes. Let's see how these two decks are going. Okay, Ramp versus White Weenie. I was trying to tell him that I don't think it's as good a matchup. I think a lot of folks think Ramp is a great matchup versus Weenie, and it's really not as good as you may think. So the key to this matchup is Well, here's the thing about this matchup. It's not the key. I mean, like, the green deck plays itself, the white deck kind of plays itself, depending on how you build it. Like, most of these versions that folks are playing right now are just, like, simple beatdown versions. But here's the thing about it. Like, you know, if the green deck wins, it wins spectacularly. It gets, like, its Gaia's Cradle, like it has right now, makes a boatload of mana, casts, like, a Primeval Titan or a Crater Hoof, and just wins the game on the spot. The weenie deck will just beat down, do its own thing as well, the way they're built. Now, if they have taxi versions, the taxi versions can tend to get a little more sophisticated in like their play style, play patterns. But I think it really is a 50-50 matchup. Path to Exile on this thing is, yeah, I mean, I guess you do it. You do it so you can keep on getting the beats in. Sorry about that, guys. Text messaging. All right, down to 7. So he needs to draw a little live. So at least the Dryad Arbor, which is not really a great draw, is not on top of his deck. So he's got 6 mana. He can cast Primeval Titan. He can cast a lot of things. There's a lot of mana neutral plays, too, if he has 1-drops in his hand. So I feel like he's probably pretty close. It just depends on if Golden Lid has an answer. So, like, yep, Garrett Caller Beast is solid, but you're going to have to block this turn. You have to block the 4-2, I think. Unless you can put a card in. Yeah, reveal the top few. So he takes 3. Takes 5 damage. What did he take here? Or did he get anything cool? He got an Arbor Elf and an Elvish Mystic, so he got a bunch of mana. Yeah, that's exactly how it happens, though. So, like, I was trying to tell him before, because he was like, oh, I brought a deck that's good against White Weenie. Not necessarily. It's about 50-50. Like, if he hits there, then he can win. I still don't think he was dead, so he blocks the Birchlore Rangers on the 4-2, goes down to 1, plays out 2 1-drops, gets a draw step plus a Garrick activation. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana next turn. So, like, he could cast most things in his deck. Now, if he has, like, Thragtusk, or I don't know if he plays, like, not the Elder Scale Worm, maybe it is Elder Scale Worm, like the 7/7 that, like, means it makes your life total 7 and it can't go below that. That card's good against Weenie, especially after he's popped off his Path to Exile. So, yeah. But we also saw Golden Lid's deck. His version of White Weenie has a lot more removal in it. Mine, I think, only runs, like, 6 or 7 pieces of removal, like the best of it. Generally speaking, I consider the best of it, like Path to Exile, Swords of Plowshares. I actually like Oust. A lot of folks don't play Oust, but I think the card is stellar. Like, it's really good against these green decks, because you just, like, put a Mana Dork, 3 cards from the top. When you're drawing a Mana Dork on turn 4, like, you're not happy. Like, you want to play that turn 1 and never see it. Like, if you have them, you want them to be in your opener, and then never see them again. That's ideally how you want them to play. So, like, 3 life's not even that bad when you, like, can put a Mana Dork on top of their deck. And then Journey to Nowhere, which he was also playing, Council's Judgment, and the 4-drop Palace Jailer. I don't even like the 3-mana Exilers. Never been a fan of them. I feel like too often they end up in blowouts in combat. Like, someone just removes it in combat, they have an extra blocker, and they just blow you out. Fetches does nothing. That's got to be good for the green deck. Haven't seen mono green ramp in a long time, so I'm actually kind of happy to watch this. Assume he's playing the Taiga for to splash for the what's the silly thing called, the Keswick Wolf Run. I always forget its name. It's trample card. Turns your Wood Elves into good cards. Not that Wood Elves is a bad one. It's just I think Wood Elves has kind of seen its time, and its time has passed. It's a very powerful card, but it's just a little too slow. You know, if it was like 2 mana, yeah, it'd be a bomb. 3 is a lot for a 1/1 body that does nothing. It's kind of like an old Rexer card. All right, we got a 2/2. 2/2's not that spooky though. And turn 3, and he's up to a lot of mana. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is shown, up to 6 possibly. Sylvan Scrying for Gaia's Cradle, or yeah, he's not going to get Keswick Wolf Run against First Strike. That tends to be bad. Yeah, I assume Cradle here, which is still mana neutral. That's 2 for 2. Oh, Keswick Wolf Run. That's not what you wanted to get here. If you attack, you're kind of throwing away some cards. Interesting. I mean, it may decentivize Golden Lid attacking. He's trying to race him. That says a lot about his hand, and that's kind of a rough thing to see. I think you'd be happier with Cradle because, like, you could do so much with it. Like, but it says a lot about his hand. His hand is obviously not that good, and he's trying to make these 1/1 threats into cards. If he plays on another first striker, I think the game is kind of going in the favor of the white deck here. This is not bad. It's going to mean 4 damage this turn, but it's dead actually on the backswing. So what he could do is this, like attack with both, lose one. I don't think Golden's going to turn this thing sideways. He is. Well, he's crazy because he's going to lose this to Johnny now. That's a fair trade in my opinion. Like, I would take 4 to kill a Johnny. It doesn't quite kill it, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. If he has a land drop, it kills it. He does have the land drop, so I think you just eat the Ajani here unless you have like a bomb to play. Alright, into Gaia's Cradle. But he could just have the Hoof. Does Hoof do it here? I don't know if Hoof kills. So it turns like each of the elves into a 4/4. Wasteland? Yuck. 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 I don't like how this is being played. Yeah, I think you just get rid of the Ajani here. I mean, I know he's mana screw, but trying to mana screw him seems like a really bad play to me. He only needs like 1 more land to make his deck work. And that's it. Like, if he... Yeah, this is bad. His top deck could be any 2/2, and he starts winning with that as well. I mean, like... Alright, so this only takes it to 3, so the Ajani doesn't even die here. Yeah, I really don't care for this line of play. I think you save the crop rotation. If he goes to Dust Bowl you can blow out. You can still do the same thing, but get value off of it because it takes the target away for what he's aiming at. And then go into a Gaia's Cradle and then start winning the game. So this is now 5 power. And if he has any first strike blocker, again, you're in the same spot where, you know... Alright, the Relic Warder getting the giant or the Wild Growth. Yeah, see, I mean, this is... Yeah, this is rough. Like, I really don't like how this is being played. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to talk shit on Redditori. Redditori, you're a good dude. I just get frustrated when I see stuff like this because I'm like, man, this is like, this is how you go about it, man. Ugh. I mean, you got to attack. You boxed yourself into that line. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, now you have to do it. But, like, the volume of things he can draw that cost 2 mana are so high, or the volume of him... Like, so you have to compare, like, that play to the volume of times he'll draw a 2-drop, or he'll draw another land, which has got to be through the roof. Like, probably, like, 60 to 70%. You know? Or even an answer card, like another, like, Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares. I mean, maybe even, like, 85%, like, just him drawing something live, even though he went down on mana. They get back the Giant Growth, can put it back on a Forest. I mean, I guess this isn't the worst possible, because now he's a blocker, but, like I said, I mean, his chances of drawing another 2-drop are pretty high. And it's pretty obvious that Redder's on a big mana, dead-end draw, just trying to use Kessig Wolfrun to win the game, which is not going to be fast enough against Weenie. Alright, so now he loses his 1/1, so he cannot block now. He still has 6 mana, so, like, Primeval Titan's probably the best draw in his deck. Primeval Titan can block both of these. But so this thing's going to 5, so he's dead next turn if he doesn't play something. No, he's not. He's not, because the Exalted trigger won't go off. Well, do you have something? That's really not what you want to be playing here, but that's the issue with these decks, though. Priest of Titania. Alright. It's 2 more draw steps, so I guess you have to treat this like Tangle Wire. I mean, I guess the best you can do is like treat it like Tangle Wire and say like, hey, my crappy mana dorks that I really never want to see again in draw steps, you know. All right, so Path to Exile on 1, which I think if I'm him, I'm like, I may even no, you can't Kessig Wolfrun it here. If you could Kessig Wolfrun it to make its power bigger, you may even do just to gain some more time, but you can't quite do it there because you don't have a 3rd elf. Yep, and you block the 5/5. I think he may be a more ballsy player than I am, but I think I block it. Just hoping for a draw. 6 mana is enough to cast most of the relevant stuff that he wants to cast at this point. The only way this is punished is if he draws Natural Order, so maybe there's a world in which, or Eldritch Evolution, there may be a world in which he wants to just leave that. Alright, well, a bunch more 1-drops. That's kind of what I was saying. The mana denial strategy does not work against White Weenie. You just don't try to mana deny them. Like, yeah, you may gain some temporal advantage, but not enough to really change the outcome of this. So he's a 7... Alright, yeah, he wins the match. That's what I was trying to tell him. Is like, it's a 50-50 matchup because, like, your deck will beat you more often than they will. Now, if you have your nut draw or even, like, a decent draw on green, yeah, you'll generally tend to win against the aggressive White Weenie decks. But when you miss like that, which is kind of how it goes sometimes with that deck, then it just tends to be a beatdown. Because the White Weenie deck is really consistent. Like, all of its threats do something. They all life you. All of your stuff does not do something. Like, they're all kind of frail, creature-based combo pieces that allow you to get to big mana really fast. So, red deck wins verse. Yeah, I was going to say, I think you can. Yeah, maybe you don't Alpha Strike with the Keldon Marauders. What's his best draw? More than likely just a Price of Progress. Blood Moon would also not. Well, Blood Moon wouldn't do anything because there's a Kasali in play. Wonder why he didn't block with the Keldon Marauders. Or did he cast it this turn? You know, it already vanished one trigger. Yeah, I should have known that just looking at the card. Alright, so take away a land drop. He's got 2 energy, so he's up to 4 mana. He can activate the Stirring Wildwood. And or cast pretty much any 4 mana Planeswalker in the deck off of the Servant. Which is not bad. This could honestly go either way. Okay, Polluted Delta can't get the 1 basic out of his deck, so at best he could fetch with it and get rid of it, taking 1 damage down to 8, but take 6 off Price of Progress, plus 1 off of Keldon Marauders, put him to 1, if that's the card that his opponent Bandit Keith by chance has in his deck, or has available to him right now. So this is going to fade, Dome for 1 down to 8, No, just passing it either means he has lands in hand or he has a couple burn spells that he wants to try to end step him on. Either way, it looks pretty dubious. He's probably going to wait for him to commit mana at this point because Dromoka's Command is a card in that deck. Cause I constructed this 4-color deck. It is an older version. And a Johnny. And a Thoughtseize. So Threaten and Monastery Swiftspear. I assume Sucknala started this one. Well, what is it we do here? Looks like we're going to try to cast a Garruk out, is what I'm feeling. Yeah, Garruk. The Planeswalker. Yep. The Wild Speaker. I always forget these Planeswalkers' names. And then what does he do? Make a 3-3? I would assume make a 3-3 here. This isn't the worst, although it does put him on a 1-turn clock, because if he pumps it here up to 4, which I think is actually correct, then he can kill next turn. Well, need to start throwing burn at face at end step here. If you have Price, you're pretty close to winning the game. You just need 1 more burn spell to finish it off because he'll sack the Polluted Delta to find nothing. But if you have that, I think you just wait on it and just throw burn at the Garruk and try to get him to go all in on the Stirring Wildwood. So he'll be incentivized not to utilize the Servant of the Conduit to do that. Alright, so Pulse of the Forge. He's going to get a 4-4. Why would you do it there? I don't know. Volshock, a refugee. Okay. Well, now... Yeah. Oof. Sequencing. Inquisition. That could be very bad depending on what he's got in hand. Alright, Reckless Bushwhacker. Well, that card's actually not that bad to get taken from you. It's too much mana, realistically. Now he still needs just to top deck like a Price of Progress. He's going to have to make a bunch of unfavorable blocks here. He may just be straight up dead. None of his stuff has first strike, right? This thing doesn't have first strike. I don't like this card in this matchup. I wouldn't board it in. Maybe he main decks it. I don't like this card, period, even in the red mirror. In the red mirror, I think that mirror is kind of easy. I don't think you need cards like this because it's just inefficient. You win it one of two ways. You either go more investment, which this card's not really a good investment card either, or when I say investment, I mean like stuff like you take on all your like stupid stuff like Price of Progress, stuff like that, and like Blood Moons, and like you just put in cards like I'm trying to think. Shrine of Burning Rage, Curse Scroll, stuff like that. I think is kind of the way you want to go. Like cards that can actually accrue you card advantage. And I almost think in the mirror, it's sometimes better to be on the draw than it is the play, because so many of your cards are so they lack so much economy. Like they're not card advantage cards. So you want to just naturally accrue card advantage through drawing before your opponent. Now, if they have a nut draw, they can tend to run you over with that, but their average draw is going to actually be worse against you drawing an extra card. Like I think 9 times out of 10. I actually don't even like cards like I think God, I'm trying to think right now, guys. Sulfuric Vortex I think is bad in that matchup. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's too slow, and they can obviously exploit it. Well, this Socknala is going to go for the attack here, the big attack. He knows his last card, and actually I suppose we could. No, we can't see it. Oh, they did reveal, right? It's a mountain. Okie doke. So, what are his outs? I don't like playing that land. I think that's a bad play. Because his outs are just drawing Price of Progress and winning the game on the spot. So I think you leave that in hand. And I think, honestly, what you probably do is just turn the Elemental sideways and possibly, like, the Voice of Resurgence. And then leave back the Kasali Pride Mage and the Servant. And leave the land in hand for sure. He's going to try to activate this thing. Which I'm not... He's going to tap his 2-2 to do it as well. Not a fan of this, so it depends on what he attacks with here. This means he only has to block one of the two, and he probably blocks it on the... This is actually something lethal. So he has to attack with 3 of them. Oh, wow. This is a ballsy play, because he can still hit him for 2 next turn. I mean, if he does this, yeah, I was going to say, he just blocks with... He blocks the 5-5 with his 2-2. I think. I mean, he could double block the land card, but I don't think he wants... He just goes to 1. Yeah. I was going to say, in this play right here, like, now he has the least defense back. Yeah, I don't care for this line. I mean, there are a lot of draws he could get here that are pretty solid. But, I mean, the chances are very unlikely that he's going to win this regardless, but I think the way you mitigate this the most is not by playing more lands out that make you lose to the out that he has, which is Price of Progress. Like, if he drew it here, it's just like Price of Progress, game. But I don't think he did because of the time he's taking here. But, yeah, we'll see. I mean, if you drew, like, Sulfuric Vortex... I mean, you might as well attack and force him to make the blocks. Because he may not. I doubt it, but he may not. There is a world in which he does not. My feeling is he like drew like Ball Lightning or something, because he had to think about it for a while. And Ball Lightning is pretty solid here. All right, so the Voice dies, the Kasali Pride Mage dies. He gets another. He gets a 3/3, I suppose, at this point. And what is his last card? Doesn't really matter. I don't think if he doesn't have Price, he loses the game. Alright, well, that doesn't do anything. Alright, Socknala wins the match. Alrighty, well, we're going to go on a quick pause, guys. We'll be right back. Oh, we're already recording, guys. My bad. I'm gonna keep this. It's not the best. But it does have a force spike in it, and it has search. So it can't be all that bad. Could just get Thoughtseize. Nope. Tap land. Oh, combo piece. Also a land tapper. We'll see what they do on their turn 2. Alright, what do we have here? Probably the black-white card. No, this thing. I mean, I would love to burn this thing out as opposed to just force spiking it, but I'm going to force spike it here. Because that thing is just too dangerous. Alright, well, Back to Basics was a hell of a rip. I'm going to leave up Negate here and or Impulse and see what they get up to. Okay, Goyf is annoying. But we can probably beat that. Looking for a basic island here. Well, basic mountain will have to do. They have the beat down, though. Hopefully they don't have Abrupt Decay plus requisite land in hand. Okay. Cast a Pestermite out. Tap down their Steam Vents. Some of it may have to block. Alright, Bayou means that Abrupt Decay is now available, which is kind of bad for us. I think we just play out the search here. Yep. Well, an unfortunate draw there to be sure. Alright, now we're in the zone of having to block. I'm going to find a mountain here because I really don't want to have another land that taps. And I would also like to flip my search. Yeah. Ancestral Visions is not quite the help we're looking for here. So I think what we're going to do here is main phase this, acknowledging that it's not going to untap. Look for something. Alright, well at a minimum, this allows us to kill off the Well, we are going to certainly block here. A Shriek Maw. Well, okay, I can't stop that. Well, any land should allow us to lock up this game. Well, and sometimes you just miss, right? Yeah, there's no way out, huh? Well, Tarmogoyf gets the game. There was the land we needed to. Yeah, we locked up the game. That sucks. Alright, so, what do we want against this deck? Is there anything else we really need to sideboard in against this deck? Honestly, Flash Freeze is definitely good. What do I cut for that? Probably on the play, Daze is fine, I think. Yeah, I think we got probably Glenalandra. I feel like we got a little unlucky there. Yeah, I mean, that sucks, but what can you do? Just kind of missed. If we hit a Lightning Bolt or, you know, any 1 or 2 damage burn spell, we could have removed that thing, and the game likely would have continued to go on. Or any land. Any land would have been good too. Because then I think we just sit there and just draw, and like their deck can't do anything. Especially when I'm up to 5 mana and they're at 0 and 0 cards in hand. So. Unfortunate way to lose, but sometimes it happens. And their deck is good. Hibernation is actually also interesting in this game. Wonder if I want it. I don't think so. Another possibility was we didn't want to. We should have played out one of the tapped lands earlier. And the unfortunate truth is we drew in another one, so that did get us there. This is a mull. This hand's a keep. I think I'm going to top that. Okay, Mana Dork. Alright, threat. Oh, no white mana, no red mana. That sucks. But we're going to be able to kill it. Land, please, deck. Nope, no land. Alright, 3-drop. That's bad for us. Okay. Come on, deck. Land me. Land me. Thank you, deck. Birds. Don't kill my Magus. Don't kill my Magus, please. Don't have a bolt. Yep. Fucking Chandra. Come on, man. Sorry, guys, for the cursing. This just sucks. That's just miserable. Oh. Alright, well, we know what one of their cards is. Could get back Birds of Paradise, but I don't really care as much about that. Well, what else do we have here? Alright, gonna get back the Birds. Oh, Liliana, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, when this deck can get ahead really early, it's gonna suck.